Hi friends, it's been quite a while since I did a YouTube video. I've been thinking about what I'm going to do a video on, and partly it's laziness and part of it is just I get discouraged sometimes if I do a video and it doesn't get a lot of views because I'm pretty new. So I sometimes stop and start, but I'm going to try to commit to doing this regularly, at least once a week. But anyway, I wanted to show you the progress of my vegetable garden because it's vegetable garden season and that is my favorite time of the year. And I'm really looking forward to working in the garden, and I figured I would show you what's going on in my garden. And I did start some of these plants. I'll show you the ones that I started inside my house. I do have some LED lights just on a metal rack, and I did start some of this because plants can be super expensive if you are using them for everything that I'm growing, and I'm growing quite a bit. I did buy some here and there. Either I didn't have luck growing them, or they just were not something that I got around to doing. So I still actually have a couple plants that I'm still starting right now, and that's more like the summer vegetables, like winter squash and other things that really like warm temperatures. So those are yet to come, but I'm running out of space. So anyway, I wanted to show you what I've got going on so far. So this past year, I actually added some space onto my garden. Most of my garden is like raised beds, but I extended my garden to the side a little bit because I wanted to have this extra growing space. I have a son and a daughter-in-law now because my son got married last year, and I really would like to be able to share some of the vegetables from my garden with them. I am really on a journey of trying to eliminate as many chemicals from my diet. So of course I would like to eliminate them from my son's diet. So I figure anything that I can grow and share with them saves them some money, and then also makes me feel better that they're getting stuff without chemicals. So I planted potatoes on this side that you're looking at. I planted the potatoes here. This area did have grass last year, so I extended the area. I put some cardboard down and put a lot of grass clippings on it. Some weeds are still coming up amongst the grass clippings, and I had plans to put more grass clippings down to kind of smother the weeds, but I was waiting for the potatoes to start sprouting because I started them and I don't even know, until they came out of the ground, I didn't remember exactly where they were. So now that I'm starting to see them, I still have some that have yet to come out. So I might wait like a week longer, and then I'm going to start, as I mow, kind of smothering the areas that weeds are growing. And then hopefully I will have some potatoes. I planted mostly Yukon Gold because that's my favorite potato. But I did plant some purple potatoes. Like I got a mix of organic potatoes from Trader Joe's, and then I got some fingerlings, which I've not really had good luck with fingerlings, but I keep trying because I think it's kind of fun to grow. So I'm hoping this will be like a good storage crop for me, and even if it doesn't last all of the fall or the winter, I plan on preserving it somehow. Freezing, probably not canning, but maybe some other way of preserving the potatoes. So the next is my first bed here is actually, I do want to mention, you're going to see like a lot of potato plants in a lot of my beds because I've grown potatoes in these beds, and they keep, I guess I missed a few, so they keep coming back into the random beds. So these are my peppers. I've actually planted some, I'm trying to think now, I planted some yellow bell peppers, some green bell peppers, some poblano peppers, and I think I did one plant of Jimmy Nardello's, and one, I forgot its name. I think it's like a Barbado pepper. It's supposed to be really hot. I do not eat spicy foods, but it's something I figured I could share with someone that does. Like my daughter-in-law said she would actually like some peppers that are spicy, so I can share them with her or my sister. So, and amongst the peppers is also some onion plants, and I got these actually at Home Depot. I forgot what they were called, but they are I think a long day. They are a long day onion, which is the zone that I like in the area of the country that I am. I would be growing long day or intermediate. So we'll see how these do, but this is what I'm growing. So I'm super excited, and I got a whole bunch of straw, and I put it here hoping to at least reduce the amount of weeding that I'm going to be doing. Maybe I should show you a little bit more of a close-up of my potatoes too. Like I said, I acknowledge that there's definitely weeds coming up, but there's definitely potato plants coming up all over the place. So it is very exciting, and I love potatoes. I try to stay away from the carbs, but I absolutely love potatoes. So this bed over here is like a hodgepodge of things. I planted some beets over there. You can see the plants are finally beginning to grow a little bit bigger. And these are turnips. You can see some of the turnips forming. Then I also planted some kohlrabi over here. I have never successfully grown kohlrabi, so we'll see. And then I do have some celery. At least I think this is celery. I kind of made a mistake. I planted parsley and celery, and I didn't do a good job of labeling it. And now I can't tell the difference. I think this is celery. So I'll either have parsley or celery growing in here. And then I also grew some radishes. These like pink daikon radish, it said. So I really like daikon radish. I can get this to move back so I can show it to you. You can see they're growing big. They're probably ready to harvest. I just kind of left some of these things in the ground because I wanted to have something to show you in the video. This is something weird that I'm doing, but I'll show you guys. Excuse the mess here in my garden. But a couple of years ago, when I lived in a different house, I didn't have as big a yard as I do now, and it had a lot of shade, so there wasn't really a good growing area. I took a recycling bin. It was just like just looked like a plastic bin, and I put a little bit of soil, a little bit of straw, put the potatoes on it, put some more straw on top, and then I kept adding straw as the potatoes started growing, and I had really good, clean potatoes that grew. So I decided, as a little experiment, I have these little bins, and I thought I could try growing some potatoes. So I will definitely share with you. So far, they haven't even really started growing. There's actually a weed coming through, but hopefully. My next bed is my tomatoes, and it does have a little bit of basil right here. I started some basil plants. Hopefully they'll survive. And this is a parsley that actually overwintered from last year, so I am very excited. My goal this year, I've been trying to do it, but I'm definitely trying to do more of it, is to plant as many herbs, dry the herbs, and use them all winter long. I have like a ton of time. I didn't get a whole bunch of basil, very little basil. I'm trying to think what else oregano I was able to preserve because I get a good amount of oregano, and that worked really well. And so I really my goal is to honestly, preserve as much of it so I can avoid buying it from the store. The next thing is this bed. I know definitely needs to be weeded, but it's got additional problems. It's got asparagus, but unfortunately it is getting infested by these little, I don't know if you can see them. They're like, I've been told they're asparagus beetles, and they're disgusting. So I've got to figure out how to treat them, but this would be my asparagus bed over here on this side. The rest of this area is pretty much doesn't have anything in it. And I have planted some, it's called strike beans, and they're bush beans. I'm trying to grow a lot of vegetables because I make my own dog food. And then I also, of course, will eat the beans myself, and I use vegetables in their dog food. So if I can grow it and preserve it, I'll be really happy. Then I have this little line I'm going to be showing you of pots. Last year I bought some fabric grow pots, so there's some stuff in there. And then I went to Home Depot. I'm not sure how much of you guys are aware, but Home Depot, at least the two Home Depots near me, has like a shelf in the garden section, and they put pots in there they don't want, mostly these ugly black pots, and they're like free to take. So I got lucky one day and got a whole bunch, and so I kept them from last year. Now I'm just filling them up with dirt and trying to grow things in them. This is mint that I got from my neighbor. I do not know what it is. I think it's called apple mint. I just keep calling it the fuzzy mint because it's kind of got these fuzzy leaves. So But I've heard this is really good for making tea, and I really want this pot to take off so that I can get a substantial amount and hopefully dry it and keep it for teas in the winter. The next, I want to show you these three, I think it's called, I can't even say what the word is, cloche or something, plant cloche. I covered these, and these are my eggplants. And the reason I covered these with this, which I normally keep the hole pretty much closed, is because this is another plant. I think it's called a flea beetle, and they seem to attack my eggplants to the point that the plant never does anything. So this year I picked these things up at the dollar store. I've seen them before, I just never used them, and so I put them on top of all of these plants. Now I have no idea if this is going to work. They were already getting some bugs on it, so I got to make sure that the bugs are gone, but I'm hoping that it will protect it from the, and I do keep the hole open usually a little bit so that, you know, it's getting some air. Some of this stuff is just like random stuff that I've put a seed in, so I'm waiting for it. This is actually some chamomile that overwintered from last year, and this is supposed to be a fig tree if it survives. I promised it to a co-worker's wife, so I'm hoping that it does well. And then there's some more basil, another fig, and this, my neighbor was kind enough to give me a cayenne pepper plant. I'm trying to make, I'm going to attempt to make like a capsaicin cream. I have tallow that I rendered myself, so I read that you can make it with cayenne pepper and tallow. I don't have any cayenne pepper, and I want the crushed one, not like a powder. So I'm going to try to grow it and then use the tallow that I have. This is just a random pot that just had lettuce growing. This is lemon balm. It's another one that I want to use for tea. You would think I'm a big tea drinker, and I'm not, but I've heard these things have really good nutritional value to use, so I figured, why not? These are just some potatoes that I'm not potatoes, tomatoes that I had left that I didn't have space for, so I've put them in here into these grow bags. This, I'm going to show you the name if you can even read it. I thought this was like some weird different basil, but I think this is just like a bush variety of basil. But whatever the case, I might have a lot of basil this year. And then this one, I just planted it yesterday. It's a Space Master cucumber. It says like it's a bush variety, so I'm hoping to get some cucumbers. My son loves cucumbers with ranch dressing, so I'm hoping to get a whole bunch of them. Some of these pots have still not yet been planted. This is actually marjoram. It's another, like I mentioned, that I want to grow lots of herbs so I can dry it. So I want to grow some marjoram. My goal is, I mean, a lot of stuff that I'm growing is perennial. I do not know about marjoram, but like I have the oregano, sage, and the thyme. They come back year after year. I had rosemary that was coming back, but unfortunately it died this year. So I bought a new rosemary plant. And let me just skip to this bed. So this is where I planted my carrots. It does definitely need a good weeding, and I need to put down some straw. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but in the middle between the carrots, I have actually planted okra. I'm hoping that the carrots might be done by the time the okra is getting tall, or if not, then I'm thinking, well, maybe the okra will provide shade to the carrots, which carrots, I've been told, don't like intense heat. So I'm not sure how it's going to work, but we'll see. Then this bed has some radishes and some lettuce. So I do not remember what kind of radishes these are, but they are going to seed, and I think they're the white daikon radish. And then these carrots actually self-sprouted. I did not grow them. And this actually, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. I think it's called lamb's quarter. My mom said that that was something that would eat back home in Pakistan, where I'm from. And then this is my radish, which also need to be harvested, but I was kind of leaving them for the purpose of the video. So you can see this carrots have sprouted among here. My goal actually was to have these radishes be done within like really around now, and I'm going to plant sweet potatoes in this whole bed. I'm just really sad that the carrots have sprouted in it because I really, really want carrots. So I'm a little bit nervous about planting the sweet potatoes and losing the carrots because the sweet potatoes will choke them out. This is some spinach. I'm not sure what's going on with my spinach here. It's got a disease or that some like cold weather did this to it. I'm not sure. I also have some strawberries. My strawberry beds are not that impressive. I'm actually working on getting these cleaned up of any like wild strawberries, and then I'm going to put like a netting over them. I do not buy any plant netting. I just go to the Walmart and pick up like tulle that they use for weddings. So the next bed is my garlic bed, which I'm not sure why some of these leaves are yellow, but it's okay. I don't normally harvest garlic until July, so I'm hoping they stay alive till then. I planted these in October. The first row is elephant garlic, and the rest of it is just regular, mostly hardneck. I don't know if I planted any soft neck, but I think it's like 99.9% hardneck. So I'm super excited for when the scapes come out. I have never really successfully used the scapes for anything, but if I can't come up with anything, I'm going to give them to my daughter-in-law because she likes to cook and she might come up with a use for it. Between the two of us, I just wanted the item to get used. This next bed is actually right here at the end is mustard. It's an Indian mustard. I planted it one time and the thing took off and had big, huge leaves. But this year it's actually going to seed. But I guess I'm happy that it's even growing at all because in the past, I couldn't even get it to grow again. It grew really well. And then this is on the border of this box here is a bunch of onions that I got at Lowe's, red onions, but in the middle is mostly cabbage because I really want to make sauerkraut. That's my new thing. I'm not good at it, but I really love to make it. And then this is some broccoli, which also might not do so well. I do have like a shade cloth, so I'm actually considering putting a shade cloth on here just because it's getting warm now, but we'll see. And then this is my onion bed, which I was very excited about till recently, and then I'm not sure why some of my onions like kind of grow these like deformed leaves. They're like, instead of growing straight, they're just, I don't know what the deal with it is. I've read that it could be something called leaf miner, but I don't know if that's what's happening here. But anyway, I am hoping and praying that I get some onions from this bed because I started most of these from seed by myself. The really pretty ones here, those I got at Lowe's, but a lot of these I did start from seeds myself. So I am super excited. I think this is actually dill coming up in the middle of it, which is another thing I want to grow is dill. Let me check this out. Yep, it's definitely dill. So that's pretty exciting. That volunteered itself. And there's some more dill over there, so I will take it. I'm pretty happy about that. And that is basically my whole entire vegetable garden. I know there's not a lot going on in my garden right now, but I'm still pretty excited about the growth of everything. I am, especially for whatever reason, excited about the herbs. I just love the idea of having herbs come back, like the parsley that I said came back, and now this dill has come back from last year. So I just love anything that reseeds itself and that I don't have to keep planting year after year. Plus, I use a lot of herbs in cooking. I used to like cooking a lot more than I do now, but I still cook meals every single day. So I still use these herbs, and I just love the idea of not having to go to the store and paying for them every time. I didn't show you, but I have a box or like a raised bed I made over there up against the house, and I planted cilantro in it because we use cilantro in our cooking a lot. And so I planted some cilantro, and it is now beginning to take off. So I'm really excited because that was something that I would buy at the Aldi every week for like I don't know, 85 cents, 75 cents, how much ever it was. But I keep telling myself, that's 75 cents. You know, that's 75 cents you don't have to spend every week. I know it seems like a small amount, but I'm one of those people that I really believe that every penny counts, every 50 cents counts, all of that counts. And then on top of that, this is organic. I don't grow anything with chemicals, so I just like the idea of going into my garden when I need something. This morning, I actually used the cilantro. I just went out into the garden, plucked it, took it inside, and used it. So it's just really nice not having to go to the store, and it's just the joy of having a garden. So I do have a nice size yard. Like my house sits on about a half an acre, but I'm trying to keep the majority of my yard untouched because I just like the idea of, not that I have people over a lot, but if I have people over, I just want nice space for everyone to just run around. And then I have dogs. I have 2 dogs, and I just like the idea of the open space. So I do have some fruit trees, and so I am growing more than just this garden, but I am really super excited about the gardening season beginning. I hope this video was at least informative to you. And if you're like me who like to watch other people's gardens, I will definitely be doing more videos, probably on my garden, but maybe other things. I do grocery hauls once in a while. So actually, before I leave, I'm going to show you some of my radish. I'm going to pull it out of the ground. I was actually not a huge fan of radish. I mean, I ate them, but I was not like a huge fan of them. But somebody a couple years ago, I read, they said to roast these in the oven. And oh my gosh, that just makes them so much better. So these are so beautiful. I just love the feeling. I don't have anything to carry these inside, but as you can see, these are so, so, so beautiful. Some of these are still on the smaller side, or really small, but it's okay. I also need to come out here and harvest the spinach. I actually froze a bunch of spinach from my garden last year and used it in my spinach and artichoke dip. I will let the rest of these grow a little bit bigger. But I'm pretty happy. Hope you enjoyed seeing a tour of my spring or early summer garden, and also my tiny little harvest, but I'm super excited about it nonetheless. Anything I get out of the garden gives me such satisfaction. I'm always and continue to be amazed that you can put a seed in the ground, and then in this case, like a month later, you can get a vegetable. Radish to me are, like, for beginning gardeners, this is instant, as close as you get to instant gratification, because nothing in a garden is available the next day. But definitely radishes usually take about 25 to like 35 days or so, sometimes longer for me, but I'm still happy. And like I said, this is very, very close to instant gratification. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my garden and seeing a little bit of my tiny harvest. And like I said, I will continue to do some videos just to update you on what's going on in my garden, maybe my fruit trees, and just share the progress of my garden every week. If you have any ideas of things that you'd like to see, please let me know. If you like this video, please remember to click the like button and remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.